Hello, school leadership teams. I want to provide this screencast to give you an overview of the next few days and the positive case simulation that I believe Wes has spoken to each of you guys about. So, really, our intention with this is to continue to gain confidence in the soapbox and our COVID-19 systems. We want to ensure that we gain clarity, feel good with the systems that we have in place. We also want to increase awareness of shared leadership roles. We can do that. We cannot do this alone, and so it's important that everyone understands the nurse's role, teacher's role, administrator's role, facility lead's role, and everyone else involved in this process. And then, really, I think the major emphasis for us is increasing our learning as a school and as a district. We know it's important that simulations help provide this opportunity for us to learn and grow together, and that's what we want this to be. So this is taken from the COVID communication page on the Welcome Back NCS site. I have tried to link a few things here for you that kind of gives a broad overview of communication timelines and what it looks like when we have a positive case. And then also within this slide deck, you're going to want to make sure that you bookmark this because this has some templates and things for you also to use as well. So it has some different conversations, and I will come back to in just a second. But wanted to kind of give you each school has a space here on this slide deck. So we'll start with the ELC. So what will happen is this is a 2-day process. So the first day will simulate a symptomatic student that needs to be sent home. And then the second day will consist of that student saying that they're positive and what happens after that. So on day one, I will call each of you guys at a random time. That might be Tuesday, that might be Wednesday, and let you know that there is a symptomatic student in such and such room. You would then need to notify that teacher. That teacher would send the student to the isolation room, fill out the nurse referral process that you have at the local school level. The nurse would check that student and then send them home with the instructions on getting tested. So that will be the first day. And what you will do as a school is you will go in these boxes and put when that occurs at the time that occurs, and then mark them green to show that you have done that. And then the second day, Miss Flanagan will call into your school and notify the family caretaker or whoever answers your phone that case is positive. And then the nurse will need to complete the contact tracing protocol. And then you will send an email to staff, and you'll need to identify that as a simulation and CC myself on that. So here's a template for what that looks like. You're free to modify this, but we've tried to be very clear and very direct. I think one of the things is you do want to make sure this is designated as a simulation, but you also, I think, want to ask for feedback from teachers. What would they need? What additional clarity do they need? That's important for us to learn about. So that would be part of the process as well. And you'll see here, before you send out this email, you would speak directly to the teachers that are affected. So I have included some highlights of that conversation as well. So let's assume that a student tests positive. Before you send out a mass email to your staff, you'll need to talk to that teacher in that classroom and let them know. And this is some basic information of what you would notify that teacher. Then you would send out this email to your staff. Once again, you can modify it if you would like, but this gives you a place to start. I think it's also important that we're very clear and very direct. And then if you go back to here, you will send out a text, one call, directing families. This will go out to all families, and you would direct them back to the COVID-19 communication page. So this is a example of the one call text message you would send. Instead of sending it one call, we obviously don't want a bunch of fake one calls going out. You will just send me this text message when this is done. This is an example of what you can use for that. And then you'll also see that the family caretaker will need to move the student into virtual learning. So once again, just like day one, you will go in, you'll put the times that each of these things occur, you'll mark it green to signify that you've done it. And it's really important at the end of these days that you guys reflect and debrief that process. And so here I've tried to create some questions that you can use to debrief with your team. Really, what went well during this? Where do you need additional clarity to strengthen this process? And then maybe you have clarity, but where do you need to provide that clarity to your team or teams at the local school level? So just as a reminder, this is where you'll be. It'll be a 2-day process. The first day I will call, I will notify you that there's a symptomatic student. You will complete these things. You'll mark the time and mark them green that it's done. The second day, Ms. Flanagan will call into your school building. She will tell you that the case was positive, and then you will walk through these 5 pieces here, and then you will want to debrief that process with your team at the end of each day. So I think this will be a really good process for us. I think it will provide some clarity to our processes, and I am excited to learn and grow with you guys in doing this work. Thank you guys for your leadership. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Thanks.